Hi, this is Luke.
And this is Tobin with Quest Research. We're here today to tell you that at no time will we ever fake paranormal activity or evidence.
That's right. If it didn't happen, we won't show it.
In this episode of Ghost Diaries, follow Quest Research as they go close to home to investigate claims of paranormal activity.
This case, for Quest Research, myself particularly, is one that is very close to home. In fact, I just closed on the house June of this year. As we were moving in during the month of July, we noticed some strange things, a few oddities if you will, things that were just kind of out of place. But we didn't really take too much of that to mind and to heart because we knew that there was a lot of people in and out of the home, and there was a number of things that could be the cause for what we were experiencing. However, after we'd moved in is when we began to really start to examine the things that were taking place. It started to set in when my wife and I noticed strange noises and things out of place throughout the home. Claims worsened as my daughter began to notice a strange woman walking throughout the house and disappearing into walls and into rooms. At first, my wife and I dismissed this as just an overactive imagination in a new home, considering since my daughter knows what I do as a paranormal investigator and has seen several programs on the subject. Still, she was very adamant about what she had seen and promised that she was not lying. So, like any concerned father, I decided to do some investigation of my own and find out if there was really any claims of a woman that had ever lived here. I learned that the home was built by a man named Harold Brennan about 53 years ago. He lived here until he died, which was about 5.5 years ago, at which point another family had purchased the home, and then we purchased the home from them this year. I could find no record of him ever having a wife that had lived here, but I was sure, having children, he must have been married at some point. So I decided to speak with one of the neighbors that had been in the neighborhood since he was 7 years old. After much persuasion, he finally disclosed some information about Mr. Brennan's wife. In fact, she had lived here in the home with him, but was very sick with cancer. And rather than go through this illness, which back in the 50s and 60s would have been one that was very long and very uncomfortable, she decided to take her own life and shot herself in the living room of my current residence. This new information really backed up claims my daughter was giving me about a woman being in the home. After taking descriptions that my daughter had given me about what she had seen and comparing them to descriptions from people that had actually known Mrs. Brennan, I determined that the apparition my daughter was seeing was in fact the ghost of the former owner's wife. Following that, I was wakened in the night by something disturbing my dog, and after I went to go investigate, I saw a strange shadow moving through the garage. After I investigated that a little bit further, I determined that there was no way that I could have had an intruder within my home at all. At which point we decided to conduct a formal investigation, hoping that we could find some scientific proof or physical evidence of what we were all experiencing.
We're ready to do the initial sweep of the house. That means taking temperatures of the area, as well as doing EMF sweeps to get a baseline reading as to what it should be. So if we come across any spikes, we'll know the difference between as to what it was in a normal state versus a paranormal state. We're using this digital thermometer to take the temperature around the room, but we also have an ambient thermometer which takes the temperature of the exact area. So we know that using this thermometer, you point it at a wall, it's going to take the temperature of the wall. This is going to take the temperature of the area that's around you. So we have two different ways of detecting the temperature fluctuations in the area. And we're using this EMF detector so that you can see the light, so it's easier to see when something goes off. You'll be able to see it light up red right here. So I'll turn it off for now, and we're going to get ready to do that here in just a few moments.
Okay, this is my house. What's today's date?
August 24th.
August 24th, 2007. Starting EVP 10 p.m. We're in Corey's room right now. Corey claims to see an apparition of a woman walk through the hall, come into her room, make an immediate right, and disappear. This is a little setup for my sister-in-law. Staying this last week.